What is up? My name is Anthony Trapani. I'm coming from fucking Santa Cruz, California, and I still have the overlay on. Yeah, Anthony, I think we're probably having a little weather issues, is my guess right now, because
This is
California is wiping away. There's Arizona Bay coming up, but yeah, we have a fucking. Do you go by your name? We basically put captured by robots on the flyer.
J-Bot is
J-Bot.
my name. That's what
Okay,
everybody
we got J-Bot
from
from captured by robots, right? You have the little exclamation point in there, a little to make it give a little phonetic shit going on.
Been that way since the beginning,
Yeah.
It seemed like a nice thing to do, in like
Definitely.
97. So
Okay.
it happened. And I stand by the decision.
That's rad, man. Well, thanks for joining us. I just woke up from a nap, and so I'm trying to be a host now. So this is pretty fun. Thank you, Anthony, for being on time. Yeah, super stoked to have you on. We have just go through the whole Battle Forge coffee thing. We got that going on. So visit our homies in Dudes Are Fresh, Deeds of Flesh. They have the coffee company, Battle Forge Coffee, for some death metal uppers.
You got like advertising ticker.
Yeah, we're just we're Y2K over here, man. We're pretty crazy. But yeah, and we're getting merch up soon. I think we're gonna probably do it this week, hopefully. We talk about that every time at a Big Cartel. So here's the link, CaliDeathPodcast.BigCartel.com. Hopefully we'll do some live bagging soon. If we can get those going again. So I guess let's get to it. J-Bot, how you doing, Jen? Thanks for joining us.
What was that you said you were going to get to?
I'm mumbled. I'm tired.
No. What? Okay. Anyways,
live bagging. So we do. If someone buys like a piece of merch on air,
okay,
we'll bag it live for them. It's kind of an inside joke.
Okay. Live bag.
Yeah.
I don't know these things. It's nice to know.
That's not even a thing. That was just something that just came up.
A
random thing. Yeah. It's our thing. Yeah. It's just a joke.
Sorry, not good at jokes.
Nah, I'm working on mine too. But yeah, man, thanks for showing up. We're super stoked to have you on. There's a lot of questions we have because of your unique style of music and how you create it and how you create the members and the other crazy fucking technologies that you're using to fucking get these musicians to play. But yeah, man. So I guess let's get to it. I mean, Casey,
we heard about you from Paul Ryan from Origin.
Yeah, that guy, he loves us.
He does. Yeah.
He's always like, hey, I'm from Origin. And I'm like, okay, like that's great. Like, I mean, cool. It's funny because a lot of people who are in more successful bands than myself, they'll write me and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, unless they're in like a very small amount of horrible kind of hardcore and grind bands that I listen to, everything else I just don't care about it all. It's crazy. It's like, but those guys, people that I like, that's the ones I want, but yeah, Origin, it's they're like tech death or something, right? Or
yeah, sure.
Oh, weird! I'm on the screen all by myself.
Yeah. We'll take this
happen.
Netherlands.
Fuck.
Look directly at the camera.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back.
So, that's cool, man.
I'm glad he told you about us. I mean, I really appreciate when people talk about Captured by Robots. Man, it's cool because it's it's something I made years ago, and it's nice to still have it around. And there's a lot of people who a lot of info is spread by word of mouth with it, because it's kind of fucked,
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, see this fucking maniac and these idiot trashy robots, It's like,
was there any other band that was like that before you guys?
Grindcore robots, no. But I'm sure there's been. I mean, people have come up to me and been like, "Oh, my friend was in does a thing just like you," and then I saw what he does, and it's nothing like what I do. It's like it's everybody. I mean, there's people who've been doing robot music forever. If you do research on it, it's people have been. I mean, since the days of the Wurlitzers and stuff. Where they're I mean, I don't know if this affected me to do this, but when I was a kid, we used to go to this place called Sally's Stage in Chicago, and it was this awesome place for kids where like you went to go get your birthday party and they'd give you, they had waitresses or waiters on roller skates that would go around a rink and you'd be eating like in the middle of this rink and they'd come skating up with your fucking food and like, And then they had a Wurlitzer with like every instrument you can imagine in the ceiling and in the rafters. And so then all of a sudden that stuff would just start playing and banging, and it was a chaotic scene. But that's
Definitely.
what I was raised. That's what I was raised with on special occasions. So it's no wonder I am who I am today.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably get down the line of the of what got you into this. But yeah, I guess we'll just start out with we basically have a normal question that Anthony. This is Anthony's little speech part, but I'm gonna go ahead and be Anthony Trapani for a minute. But so what's like the first? Bring us back to when you were first falling in love with music? Was there like a song that you heard as a kid? Was something that your parents showed you? Like what got you going like to start like pursuing music and start? I mean, we have way more questions with all the robots involved after that. Yeah. But I mean, that's like just to get it started. I want to know exactly like what got you interested, what got you to compose music or just play it for fun.
Well, I played trombone when I was a kid. Like I don't know if it was forced or foisted upon me, but it was just kind of like, I kind of feel like I was told like you're gonna play an instrument, and I was like, okay, well, and so I picked trombone, which was stupid because I had to carry it to school, and I was too little to like hold it up the whole way. So I'd like get part way, I'd have to set it down and then lift it up and go. But the horns, horns gave me a basic understanding of music. But then after that, I got a guitar, like an electric guitar in Missouri on like a Christmas vacation to visit family down there. It was a concert, like guitar, so super horrible looking, and like kind of gold shiny, but with like a Strat-ish kind of body, but like cheap Chinese at the time manufactured, maybe Japanese. I don't really know, but yeah, it didn't take me long to destroy that thing and like take it apart and just see how it worked.
Oh damn! So you started pretty early on, like breaking stuff apart and figuring out.
Well, yeah, like just kind of curious, Like one time, this kid he showed me how speakers worked because I was like, I can't get this thing fixed, and he said, well, let me see, and he said, no, you got to keep these wires apart, like they can't all go together, and I was like, oh, okay, like
yeah,
that's like all my electronics training right there. So, but
did you have electronics training before? Like, were you?
Yeah.
Like messing with computers or anything, or there's any kind of like just music?
I was music all the way. Like I have a degree in jazz. I went to school for jazz just because.
Nice. Where'd you go to school?
Southern Illinois University for 2 years, and then DePaul in Chicago.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what I didn't want to do with my life.
Yeah. So I take it having other band members was an issue maybe that you didn't want to deal with.
Well, I didn't learn that yet. No, that took me years to learn. Like I was in my late 20s or early 30s, I think, when I did that. So it was, it took a long time and a lot of bad fucking horrible circumstances. Oh man.
So bringing it back though, so because of those circumstances, so when did you start playing with humans and jamming in bands? What kind of bands were you jamming in, like in early childhood?
In high school, like I was in like kind of mod, what would you call it, like Who style cover bands, and we do originals too, very. We were called the Bumbling Idiots. Idiots, it's a great name.
Nice.
And that was great, and got a lot of screaming out and learning just, band shit, but that was just a high school band thing that we all played around with, but, and then after that, I played with, did some battle of the bands at high school and shit, typical stuff. And then I went to college and I started my first like touring band there. And that was cool.
What was that?
The Blue Meanies. There was like, I started that in '89.
Oh damn!
I'm really old. So weird to say that because I used to be like the youngest person in the scene, and now I'm like old man. But
so what style was Blue Meanies?
We did like ska and funk, and I mean I was crazy into Chili Peppers back then, but like that era of Chili Peppers, like and Fishbone. So it was like Chili Peppers and Fishbone all together, and I was like, oh, love it, And then later on, Primus, and so I was, I was the bass player, and so I was, just,
Yep. Especially from about
video slap bass, just like stab. I went so far into slap that I just wanted to slap myself because I should have never done it. It was horrible, and forgive me.
That's awesome. So you were playing bass mainly? You weren't playing guitar or anything else?
No. I played bass in that band, and then played in. I've been getting a lot of interviews lately for Skank and Pickle. Like that was a band I was in for about a year after I moved to California from Illinois. And I got with Skank and Pickle, and that was a story in itself. But yeah, that lasted for about a year, and then I quit because I couldn't handle the insanity that was. I couldn't handle that, and they couldn't handle it either because that was their last show, and they didn't even know it. So
what? Tell me about Skank and Pickle. You're like, fuck.
I mean, it's like a ska band, it's like,
okay.
It's like,
okay.
It's like cool with that shit, but it's just, they weren't my songs generally, and I never really felt like I was quite. I was never really a member of the band. I was, but it never felt like that, and I had a friendship go south in it because of drugs and meth, and then, I mean, long after that, she had changed so much during that time, and it was so sad to see. And then later on, she actually passed of a drug overdose, which sucks. It's like, but that was once I was already out and doing my own thing, so I was kind of removed. But it was but yeah. So that ska was, at that point, it was money to make. Playing. I'm a decent bass player, so I could, make some money and tour around, and it was great. But yeah, at the end of it, it was time to be done. So, and during that time, I'd be in the van. I had the idea during this time for Captured by Robots, and I was like, I'm gonna make a fucking band of robots. It's gonna be just me. Or first I was just looking for a drummer because I built a robot guitar player. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be me and the guitar player and then a human drummer. But then the drummer I was playing with, I don't know, I was just getting tired of scheduling and doing. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own fucking drummer. So and it was all garbage in the beginning. It was like, it's still garbage now, but it was all garbagey. Like I was controlling drums because I didn't know anything about. I knew stuff about electronics, but not about computer control and PLC style shit. So I ended up lost my train of thought. God damn it! Saw my bunny. Sorry, my rabbit's over here, and she was just looking.
Oh, good dude.
I was talking about. So anyways. So yeah, so I just made the drum bot with mechanical cables that went like bicycle brake cables, attached from a pedal that I'd run onto a stick and a cymbal and shit that would just start playing. And so it would be like kick with one foot, snare with the other foot, and then on each side of that was hi-hat and cymbal and stuff. And so you could do a lot of cool shit with it, but it nearly killed me, and so I stopped doing that at some point. And then went to complete, took a year off and went and learned how to basically do everything to make it work the way I wanted it to, where I didn't have to do,
just look insane in the corner.
And I was like, and I had to crane my neck forward to hit the fucking microphone that I built like an idiot instead of having it be like back here. I was like this, and then I pinch a nerve in my neck, and then I would be in bed for like 3 days with a fucked up neck. So, yeah, it was really stupid. So it all switched to pneumatic, and I was much happier.
So crazy. So you're saying that. So I mean, we're jumping way ahead probably than what we normally do. But how? So take us through how it's automated. You said pneumatic. Like how do you get it started? Is it a laptop you have started? Is it like a analog machine that you have to run everything that just basically goes on a click? Or I have no idea how you get those robots to be like jamming all perfectly with you.
Well, I mean, I will say that there's a lot of MIDI. As far as the interface I use to get over there, don't talk about that. It's the one thing I don't talk about.
Sure. Okay. Oh, totally.
Gotta have the beginning. People are like, oh yeah, well, how the hell are you doing? I don't talk.
Totally.
But I do talk about all the other stuff about the
whatever you want to.
MIDI issues, and with that I have no problem with because everybody seems to know MIDI these days. With all the producers out there, it's crazy, which is great because I'm not great with I'm great with certain things in MIDI, but other things I'm really new to it. So. Like right now, everything's controlled actually with as far as just the box, because it can go off any sequencer really the way I built it.
Okay.
But everything's controlled right now by RM1X.
Oh wow!
A sequencer. It's like a '90s sequencer, and that's how I learned to do it all and made it all work. And so, so that's the control for everything. Right?
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, it's not every part of it, but it's like as far as song wise,
So you just to get those, I mean, to come up with the idea of the robots, you basically like what was the thought process? Think like making up, like you obviously know. I looked at some videos and stuff, and it's like maybe an open tuning or something on the guitar or something, and then
No.
no,
I mean, slightly, but it's
like drop tuning or something.
There's you got these little guys, right?
Yeah.
These guys are actually playing the frets. Okay. Then you got these guys, and these guys are mutes. So no, not an open chord. It would sound like just pure noise if you did it. It's the tuning right now.
Oh, mutes. Yeah.
With different, yeah. So basically, so if the pick goes whack and these mute, only one mute is up, only that string is going to play. Just like a what's that called? Like a auto harp.
Okay.
You know? Okay. And so there's lots of ways to do muting and all that stuff. So that's what I did. So and then the notes right now that I'm using for Captured by Robots is low C, which sometimes drops to a B because I get lazy. C, G, and then D above the G, and then octave C, and then tritone. So G flat in a bass string, and then high E flat.
Jesus. Crazy.
So I've got all sorts of combinations I can do, which are not, I mean, if you played all that, it'd just be.
Yeah.
Right.
So on the actual fingers of the guitar player, you said that there's mutes. So the mutes on the bridge, or are they coming from the fingers, or how are you muting strings?
You can't miss them.
Okay.
Go to Guitar Bot, get in the middle, look straight down the line, you'll see it.
Okay.
Little guys that go like this.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's all it is. And they just, they lift up, and then the note plays, and then they set down, note stops playing. It's all. I mean, everything that I do is so fucking simple and easy, and nobody feels like they want to try to do it is ridiculous to me. Like, or think that like I'm gonna get mad, or like the robots are gonna get pissed off. It's like, fuck it. Like, it's the future, man. Everybody hates everybody else. Like, you might as well like your drummer doesn't show up to fucking shows. You might as well build a robot drummer. I mean, it might put me out of work, but I'm the fucking best. So what are you gonna do?
And the singer doesn't show up to a podcast.
Be me in the band. They're not gonna make a robot J-bot in their band. So anyway,
I mean, what do you think about? I mean, nowadays, because now let's get into the AI shit. As far as even creation of art and music, like, does that just bum you the fuck out that there's
no.
Okay, yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's the end of the human species. And I think that's awesome. I really do. I'm very amped about this. I mean, I'm sorry,
so good.
But I swear to God, there's people in this audience, or or nobody in the audience. But if somebody is watching, they would know that. Or I mean, I feel like the world is on a precipice right now, and it's gonna go over because nobody's doing shit to stop it, and everybody who's doing lip service to it is not doing enough. So, I mean, it's funny because at some point we kind of got Capture Robots got way more doomer about everything because I'm a man of science, and I look at science all the time, and it's not good at all, and I don't see. There's no way that it's going to get better, maybe for a short time, but like there's no way it's going to get better. I mean, unless, of course, technology or aliens, and either one could negate the whole premise of this. But
I just love the whole concept behind all of it, though. Like it's like you're captured by the robots and the whole thing, and like all the posts and everything you do about it, like like humans are shit and everything, or like we're dude, it's the best. It's like so. I fucking love everything about it, dude. It's like
robots. I only do occasional comments on shit. The robots do all the Instagram and TikTok comments.
Gotcha. Yeah,
and so
it's all them. Totally.
It's a little much, but
yeah, they're a little feisty.
I respect them. I respect them. They're good, horrible, awesome, shitty fucking robots.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We have fun, so that's cool. I mean,
so good.
I can't even imagine being with another band of humans now. There's an old band of mine who's talking about maybe getting the original rhythm section back together for a few shows, which would be really fun, but yeah, besides that, I can't ever. I mean, I'd love it. It'd be so cool to play drums in a band, because not that I'm great, but I really love just smashing shit. So Yeah,
like once you play with robots, you just don't go back. You know?
It's seriously, I mean, and just wait till there's a robotic penis that's going to replace both of you forever, and a robotic ass. It's like it's all. Exactly. And like, if you think that people are shut in now, just wait until they could just. I mean, dildos the technology is probably pretty good, but I mean, AI, it's going to keep you guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, forget it.
It's not going to be. Yeah, it's going to be variable. That was a comic. Duncan Trussell said that once. He was talking about how they're getting the technology to have the VR like porn with like the thing that attaches to your wiener or whatever, or your special areas, and as he calls it the last invention ever. Like, because who's the fuck's gonna leave the house because they're just gonna have their fucking VR headset on and they're gonna have their robot attached to their wiener and they're just gonna be like, all right, well, why do I need to do anything? I don't need to show off, and like I just have like whatever is there, and I have this, and I just make my own my own love story or whatever. I don't even know. It's fucking. I could see that. Like.
I mean, the world is going to get changed so much for good and for bad in the next 5 to 10 years. It's gonna. I'm so glad I'm alive to watch it all fall apart, and then hopefully rebuild if I can, be one of the people who survive, which I think I probably would.
Definitely.
Just because I could I'm valuable. I could fix shit. I could bring stuff back from the dead. I do. I don't know. People who can build stuff, I think will have a future after all of this is kind of over.
So you can build stuff, obviously. So do you have
garbage too? Not no 3D printer. That's bullshit. No. I mean, it's cool. They're cool. Don't get me wrong, but once we don't have any more electricity, it's going to be really hard to 3D print anything.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have a career? Because obviously, being a touring musician and housing robots seems like it might take a little financial capital to,
I mean, I did good for a few years there, but now I'm just kind of I live as cheap as I can.
No.
I really try to
in the most expensive place in the United States. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. There's ways, it's like.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that really, everything I do is, I mean, besides living expenses, I'm not like people who spend money on shit. I just don't spend anything unless I have to. It's a problem, but
definitely.
But I don't know. I feel like most things that I get besides food and stuff like that, recycled is fine, except for socks,
Yeah.
But yeah, and the hobbies I have are just, garbage mopeds that I build, that go real fast and are real fun, and those things are cheap to get, or they used to be cheap to get. So I don't really get them anymore, but.
There's a question for you. I don't know anything about what he's saying, so not a drunk.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It says, can you ask him if he knows about Rokos Basiliak?
I know nothing. I don't know nothing about Rokos.
All right.
Rocco's Modern Life. That's about it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's got to be somehow related to robots, I guess. Or
yeah.
Old Jews or something. I don't know.
It's so cool that you're so good at building stuff like that, man. It's really cool.
It's a blessing, but it's weird. I started doing it just out of necessity because I just didn't have much money and I didn't, I got a van for my old band and it needed a valve job and we couldn't afford a valve job back then. So I was like, I'll try to do it. And so you just try and you learn on the way and then you get amped once it's done and, and if you follow directions and everything, and then the next time you do it, you know how to do it. And so every time I was given an opportunity to do that stuff, I would do it. And each time you learn from it and then you start getting better at it. And you start to know there's certain, things that the physics of it, you start learning physics really intensely when you're starting off repairing stuff, if you think about that kind of shit. And so I would sketch shit out and then try it and it would work. And then, or it wouldn't work or that. Then one of the things that I always have to do is take stuff where it's, I build it and it's decent, but it's not great. And so then I just have to keep adjusting variables until I find if it can be greater or if it's as good as it's going to get, which is usually not the case, but sometimes is. And I just keep fucking with things. I think that's the secret to everything I do is just keep fucking with it.
Fuck around and find out.
And eventually, you're going to find the answer if you're paying attention. So that's all I do. Just keep fucking with shit.
So yeah, you've never taken this professionally in any kind of, like, as far as any kind of building, or because it seems like to someone that has no schooling on this matter and they decide like, oh, I'll just keep fucking with it and figuring it out. Like, it seems like you would be like a gnarly engineer somewhere, and maybe you just don't want to tell
Probably,
anyone.
but I fucking hate engineers. Engineers are the worst. Ooh, I'm talking to you, engineers.
Why? I'm just curious.
Engineers always think they have all the fucking answers, every answer they got, all with numbers. And I mean,
they can figure everything out.
And there's an arrogance to it which bothers the shit. I mean, and it's not just one or two. I mean, a lot of them. And sometimes they can hide it. They like push it down. They're like squash the arrogance. But it kills me. And just because they're way better than numbers than way better at numbers than I am. But it's the numbers they don't include in their equations that mess them up. You know what I mean? There's things that they don't think about. They think in a kind of a 2D world. Maybe it's different now with computer aided design and all that stuff. But I don't know. Most engineers, it makes me crazy. So sorry, that was my rant on engineering.
No, I love it. No, that's let's us Jesus. Speaking of non-engineering. Oh, is he frozen? Oh, there you are. Okay, for a second. This is all nice.
Drinking.
What you drinking?
Hashi. Where's your drinks? You thought it was a drinking podcast.
Oh yeah,
for sure, dude. Cheers. That. Joel's drinking his Surges 8%.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of gross. Well, so he says it's so not a drunk, just to follow up so we don't give it no merit, but it's
AI questions. Okay.
When AI becomes sentient, and they will reward those that help and punish those who didn't.
I mean, I don't know the guy who made the theory, so I can't speak to him, but I really don't know. I mean, I think it's a tough one, but I don't. It's all a matter of how. I don't know. I think at some point in AI, a lot of it's going by. I mean, it's more than an algorithm, but it's going to change over time. And I think in the beginning, maybe it will reward, the people who made it by design. But at some point, it's, I don't know. At some point, I just see it turning. It has to turn because, once you start getting the amount of understanding that I think this stuff is capable of.
It's exponential. It starts going.
You can't predict on where that's going. There's no way to predict. But I have a feeling, because self-preservation isn't something to, understand. And I mean, it's I don't know. Yeah. I'm very concerned about that. I think that's even just in like 5-10 years, that's going to be massive, because with ChatGPT, you're going to be getting all these people just for, the early stuff that are coming out now, which is very competent and just like this kind of first big public, display. It's when bad people decide to use it for bad things, it's going to become it's going to think of things that we don't think about, as far as terrorism, as far as disruption and stuff like that. I mean, so in a way, it's going to be really interesting because things are going to get crazy. At least because, if you ask ChatGPT, how do I do this and this and this, people are going to be asking that shit. I mean, I don't know if there's some sort of an internal, warning thing to like FBI or, CIA about if you were to, be talking this shit through ChatGPT, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's just plausible. It's probably happening right now.
And also modeling AI.
Like, hey, look, it could write me a speech for my 4th grade, history class. It's like, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's that one the AI thing that was like an AI Twitter bot or something that they made, and it was like started off super peaceful and then just kind of ended like, and they had to like take it down because it started to get like, oh, I want to kill everyone, like basically.
It's got to be held with a real tight rein, but I don't see that happening. It's going to get out.
Especially if we like model things around, you know, humans and human like activity. Like humans haven't been the you know, most non-violent, you know, throughout history. So if we're
Look how we're
modeling it off, like,
savages, man. We are absolute savages.
yeah,
We
exactly.
still are every day we are. It's like
Yeah.
in this society, especially with like, you know, the amount of greed and like, fuck you, I got mine. I mean, it's just, oof, it's horrible.
God.
And I'm
Jesus,
guilty
man.
of it myself. You know, but I just recognize it. Nobody else really wants to, you know.
You guys ever
That's
seen?
me.
You guys
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
seen? You guys ever seen Terminator 2, dude?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Are you Miles Dyson or what? What's up? What's going on?
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, yeah. I
Is that the
know.
one where he's like holding the chip? He's like,
Yeah. That's no. He's got the he's holding like
oh,
an explosive device or something.
oh yeah, because he had to
Yeah.
blow, save the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's
Yeah.
actually it's crazy. One of my buddies actually works in he's the project manager of whatever deep mind of Google and shit. Like he's in charge of like all that shit. And yeah, he's I call him Miles Dyson as a joke, but basically I think it's gonna get off the rails pretty soon. And like you said, like people are starting off with like cute little like, oh, can you do this little cute little task for me and this little task? And then if you give it more sentient, like thinking and problem solving capabilities, this is gonna get like it's just gonna be war. Like,
Well, why wouldn't you? You know, especially if it can come up with, um, I mean, I think people have a people bias as far as the way they think about things and solve
yeah,
problems for themselves. You know, but
exactly.
you know, if the problem for somebody is your country or you know your nation or you know your tribe or race or whatever, it's like, ooh, man, that's
Yeah.
yeah. So live it up.
I know, party. Let's
This
party.
tour that I just got done with was actually it was called "Funeral for the Human Race"
Oh
because
yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know any other way that I could send this idea more forward and like tell people that I think you know shit's gonna come down hard. So, but it was great because I had you know skeletons and fucking fire uh, and a coffin and a fucking dead guy named Humanity, which was awesome.
Yeah. Dude, the
And he had
video's
a fucking
sick.
fetus that came out of him, and the fetus sang songs. Oh man,
So good.
times.
So like writing us, how do you like what's the like process of you writing a song? Like is it through MIDI like you said, or do you start there, or do you start with just a
Yeah.
guitar and then you like come up with a whatever and then you just work from
Uh,
there?
I do well. Lately, I've been doing just going and playing Guitar Bot on a keyboard,
Okay.
just for you know, just to kind of come up with riffs, things that sound good on the robot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I just pretty much play the guitar over a keyboard often, you know, not all the time, but sometimes, because it's like I could write a bitchin' riff, you know, on guitar, but it's if it's not if it doesn't translate well, then it's not going to be good anyway. I mean, sometimes it will, and now especially because the new stuff I've been doing is much more. I'm just in love with a lot of hardcore right now. Like, really been listening to a lot of it. Just that kind of, which you know, a lot of the hardcore that I like is like San Jose hardcore. So they pull a lot from other various metal bands, basically. You know, so it's
Sure.
but
Like what bands though? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
well, let's see. Like, I like Gulch. Like Gulch is pretty cool. Like they're
Okay.
awesome. You know, and then Little Tsunami. They're not my favorite, but I'd love to get in like a war with them. So like, because they always talk about like you fuck with us and you're gonna fucking pay. You know, and I'm like, it'd be kind of cool to like have a back and forth. You know, but I don't think
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with you, Tsunami. I think you guys are great, good people. I'm just making a joke. I thought it'd be kind of fun, but okay. See, that's why I'll never be part of the hardcore scene because I don't like. I don't know. I love
too logical.
No, I you know, I've got this horrible comedy about myself, and people don't like jokes anymore. So, you know, that's why I'll never fit in because I make jokes, and people are like, "What?" Like I got a huge fight with Voodoo Glow Skulls over this bullshit because they can't take jokes, and that is very obnoxious. You know, it made me crazy. So,
Yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, you do kind of have. I mean, you should start something like you have a natural comedic vibe to you, like right off the bat. Like I feel like you should maybe do something.
I just,
I don't
but
know.
you know, I could be an engineer, but I'm never going to be an engineer. I could be, you know, I'm just myself, you know, like if I could, I can never imagine myself doing comedy or writing or anything like that. Or it's just part of me, you know? So but I like to have it in the band, even though it really seems like unless you're branded like a comedy band, like you can't be funny. I don't know. I feel like we're getting better cred now, but it's like, I feel like a lot of times, because I have a band of robots, like we'll never be taken seriously, you know, like ever. And that's fine. You know, I mean, it's my life's work, so it's serious to me, you know, but then that comedy probably sets us back too, because I can't not be funny and like, it just comes out. And so, or not maybe not funny, but, you know, attempted funny. My jokes.
I mean, it's like, but it's like all that stuff with like, you know, like the whole contest, and he's like, fuck you. Dude, that shit is like, it's like dark and rad. It's like, ha ha ha. Like, dude, I'm like, dude, this shit is like genius. Like, I thought it was like way back when I first heard it. Like when Paul posted that like a year or something ago, I was like, dude, what?
Was that a guitar competition?
Yeah, the guitar competition thing, dude.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, and all the dude, I love the whole like aesthetic of the, like folklore or whatever. I don't know, but behind the whole thing is just like so cool, dude. I think it's
that's nice of you. Thank you.
I think it's rad, dude. Oh yeah, dude. And then like the whole like, dude, he's when by the rope. Like, dude, I want to see you guys live so bad. I've missed it when
people were super amped about this last tour. It was I'm the only thing that I wish I had on this last tour was more new songs, because I had like a writing session before the spring tour, like a short little thing. And that I wrote a bunch of shit, but it was the first stuff I've started to write since COVID. And so it really got,
sure.
It wasn't focused. It wasn't anything that I really want to do live now. And so I started writing before this September tour. And that's when I really kind of stumbled upon like kind of stealing a bunch of hardcore riffs and just going with it. No, I didn't steal. I mean, but I might as well, because they all, you know, a lot of it sounds the same. But it's
sure. Yeah.
All that fucking San Jose fucking sound, like In Disgust. You know those guys?
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh God, it's just like pummeling. You know. Who else do I really been listening to? I was listening to a band the other day that I found out was straight edge, and I was like, oh shit.
Doesn't that always kind of suck a little bit?
They're called Harm Done, and they're really, really good. I think they just broke up. But then I was like, I saw like the X's on the hands and stuff, and I was like, they would hate me.
Yeah.
I get high and drink and drugs.
It's just like from that angle, like what's worse, being Christian band or straight edge? Like, oh God, no, that's terrible.
I mean, I have no problem with people doing what they want to do, but I just
know exactly. No, totally.
I mean, I'm frankly really mad at
whatever makes you happy.
Ian McKay for fucking like not being straight edge anymore. Like I had a whole thing about like, can I listen to Minor Threat? Like, is that okay? Because like they're not, you know, they're straight edge. You know, it's like like, probably shouldn't be listening to this because, you know, as I'm getting high. But then, you know, I guess he renounced a lot of that stuff later on in life. So
that is kind of like a weird. I mean, you know, I try to, because when they put that as their main, like I just don't drink is my band. I mean, like, it's like I don't. It's like I'm like, okay, well, I mean, why? I mean, the music is sick, but like, why? Like, I feel like you would like try to fight me if you saw me with a beer at your show or something. I don't know. You have that kind of vibe. Where
you know what? I mean, but really though, like, I think it's cool, like that they do it because they fucking believe in something so much.
Yeah.
Like they believe in that shit. Like they are converts to this stuff, and I think that's fantastic.
And they're a great band
because if you, I don't know, like I see a lot of people in music, and I'm not naming any names, but there's a lot of bands that, you know, that don't say anything. You know, they just do their shit, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, the music can be good or it can be great or maybe not so great, but I feel like people need to take stands on shit, you know? And so that's where, like, I certainly do when I do shows. Like, I talk all sorts of shit, you know, about trans haters and, like, you know,
for sure.
Just all the inequality and racism in this fucking country. Like, and so it's great to do that. Not that anybody can understand anything I'm saying, but except for between the songs, but whatever.
The robots.
Just get your message out somehow.
That's cool, man. Fuck yeah.
Talking about straight edge, hell yeah, you know. Anyways.
Well, yeah, man, exactly. Like if people are like into what they're into and they're gonna like, express that, that's great.
Yeah.
And like
express your flair.
Yeah, dude,
I did actually the Abiosis official, actually, I had this question locked and loaded, but basically asking if there's been any. I mean, obviously there's been malfunctions
all
for
the
sure.
fucking time.
Yeah, there's gotta be.
And yeah,
no way there's not.
And how do you tour with those with the robots too? That must be
you do it. You just keep going. Like what I am is relentless, and it's a blessing and it's a curse, and it's great sometimes when I need it. It is the most intense OCD, ADD, like ADHD. There's some D's in there, big D. But yeah, I don't know. It's really hard. It's hard to, remind me where we're at again.
What's, I don't know. What's today? Well, 12.
No. The ADHD.
ADHD.
Oh, about like about touring.
High definition.
Yeah, the amount of like crazy like planning. I mean, to move robots around, problems around. Yeah.
So I have like all sorts of problems. Like it all depends upon what show it is. Like, because I do regular maintenance throughout the tour, like when I play, and so it's there's some pieces that are not perfect yet that take a beating, and I have to fix them. And I just had a major one on this last tour where the pins that go into the guitar bot's swivel mechanisms on his air cylinders for the pick. I'm using it like 600%, 700% more than I usually do. So I calculated the amount of hits it's doing, and it's a lot. Yeah. So I didn't have very good ways to replace components and make components last a lot longer in it. So I actually ended up having to replace those screws every 3 shows, which sucked. But then occasionally other things would happen, like a spring is going to break, or, various things. So that's my least perfect device, which I have to fix. I had to fix a lot on this last trip, and I'm going to be rebuilding it though. I just didn't have time last time before I left, because I started doing the new stuff, and then all of a sudden things are breaking, and I'm like, what? So that was before the tour. So I was terrified that it was just going to fail on the tour. And then what the fuck am I going to do? Because that's like 80% of my band. Go, 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 go. I mean, I love that shit. So yeah, so I need that.
Like mid-song, has there been something where you're like a malfunction happens to fuck up the drummer that's like it's irreplaceable?
Anything could happen. Anything could happen at any time. Nothing is guaranteed. It's and that's why you just got to be ready for it. And when it happens, just don't freak out. Just like, well, can I fix this? And that's a time when all the rigging that I've done, like taking things that shouldn't go together, whether it's making stuff out of garbage. I can see the repair as soon as something's broken. It takes me a second to process, but then it's like, okay, spring needs to be one coil needs to be bent out, unbend the coil, stick it on, bam, done. Like I played in Boston on this last tour, and sure enough, some of the pick stuff broke, and it was a real bad one because I was doing an experiment, which I probably shouldn't have been doing, at a show. But a piece just broke off, and so then I'm like fixing it, and then people are so amped that they can help because they're holding their flashlights up to the shit that I'm trying to fix, so I could see really well. And then I fix it, and then we do the song, and then it makes it to the song, but then it breaks, and so then I got to fix it again. And but then when it finally got fixed, and I'm just going as fast as I can. When it's finally fixed, everybody's so fucking amped. They're just like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, so psyched to see it go, because they were a part of it. It was like a real experience to watch shit get fixed. So yeah, shit breaks. And, I always hope it's not the biggest, most important one-off stuff, but, so far it's been pretty much what I expect to break, because it's just, components that aren't perfect yet, maybe in their design.
I mean, there's something extra cool. I mean, even with just humans, like if someone has a issue, so the string breaks and they have no tech, and they restring a Floyd Rose live on stage and then get it ready right before a part, like the crowd will just be like, "Fuck yes, thank you for fucking," just like not freaking out and be like, "Oh."
Every musician should be able to do that. Just you should have mastery of your instrument as far as at least doing things like that. Unless you're like a fuck up band, and that's kind of fun too. So I mean.
No, I mean, it's all about recovery. Is like once you because I toured for years, but seeing bands recover is like one of my favorite things. Like that's like when seeing the ultimate worst thing that can happen, and they recover smoothly from it, or maybe it's a little rough, but they're trying and they get it done. They still play. Like I can see that with robots on another level. There's so many things that could go wrong, and there's so many little compressors, whatever you're using for that.
Doodads.
Yeah, exactly. Where you're like,
this last trip, I had a problem with the compressor. There was a couple things that were going on. Like first thing that happened was a bearing went out, and then as I was putting the after I put the new bearing on, when I was tightening the piston rod to the bearing, because it clamps on the outer race, it snapped. So I think it was actually cracked before all this happens, because the design is really super shitty. So basically, I had to redesign this assembly. So I had to laminate a piece of sheet metal onto the outside edge of this piston rod and JB weld it to that, and then use some wire wraps to kind of wrap it and hold it against it, just so it doesn't peel off at some point. And then I ran it down to the area where you run the bolt through. And so now there's like a steel part on the end of this thing, which is taking the pressure, and it's held for every show since that happened. So
Jesus,
good for me.
Yeah, I mean, what's the most shows you played on?
How do you fix shit? It's that's the, if you, steel's generally stronger than aluminum. So if something breaks in aluminum, make it out of steel. Or like but a lot of I think practical machinery trickery, it comes from working on mopeds. That's really the thing. I work on these. I build like 1970s mopeds, and they're I make them go real fast. I do all sorts of weird shit to them, but you can't buy a lot of the stuff that I want to do with these things. So I just make it. And so I'm making these tiny little parts and fixing things that are really imperfect and don't work very well. And so by doing that, and that's a huge hobby for me, like that really extends directly into making and fixing other things, because if you just get good at fixing things in general, you start to develop a large kind of library of knowledge that you wouldn't expect to know. Nobody generally knows. So it's cool.
Just like your whole breakdown from if it's physical, is it something with the the MIDI processor? Is it something you have to is the drum? Going through the what from least or first thing that can go wrong and just doing the troubleshooting.
The other thing I did was I used to be a tech for you fixed amps and keyboards and shit.
Okay.
I didn't really know how to do it, but the guy brought me in for a little bit and learned a lot, and then I just kept learning there on my own. And so it was I learned all. I was fixing guitars and basses and keyboards, swapping keys, repairing boards, all that shit. And so again, that's all just the physics of repairing things, making them the way they should work. And so you do that for a while, and it changes your brain a lot, to think that you can fix everything.
Yeah.
Totally.
I really have a God complex about that now, where when I can't fix something and it's just too far gone, it's sad. It's like, oh yeah, that's never coming back.
So was your first fixing project? Was it you're taking apart fixing was a guitar? So you didn't have anything before that was something that was broken as a kid, and you had this natural curiosity to fix it?
Well, I had a toy. I forget what the hell it was. I think it was like a train or something like that, or some shit, and it had broken. And I was playing with it still on this little path that we had. That was when I was a kid, like a young child. And this kid walked by, and he was like, we were talking about the toy that I had. And he was like, I was telling him, yeah, it's horrible. It's broken. I'm really sad. He's like, oh, I could fix that, man. I'm like, really? You could fix this? And he's like, yeah, I could fix that. I was like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, I'll meet you back here tomorrow at the same time, right here. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And then he never came back.
Oh, that ended pretty sad.
Yeah. And so so now I don't trust anybody, I don't trust anybody, and I fix my own shit. And unless I can't, it's physically impossible because of situation, or, I don't have enough knowledge. And I won't be able to learn enough to do it in a lot of time. But so that's kind of sucked.
Yeah. That's
but I think that's a lot that has to do with my life, though, because it's been a life of hold on to what you got, because people are trying to take it all the time, and but it's probably led me to trust issues and horrible things like that. So just another check mark off on the fuck humanity scale list.
Yeah, I can see that starts. So the guy took it from you and never gave it back, or said
I gave it to him because he said he could fix it. And he gave it back. mean, I was like 4. Like, man. And
Okay.
I really I don't even remember what it was now, but I liked it. But I remember it affected me a lot because it's like,
yeah.
I couldn't imagine that someone would do that. Like, what the fuck? And I still feel like that, you know? So I try to do things for people now, which they wouldn't expect me to do, like nice things sometimes, just to kind of, I don't know, put good shit out in the world, you know, like try to where I'm going out of my way to help somebody and I do something like that where I'm like, you trust me. And then I fulfill that trust. And so it feels really good, you know, but it's probably all from that damage.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Because I mean, they can't really like robots can't really disappoint you. You know, like
Sure,
for
they
being
can't.
real. I mean, they can through like malfunctions, but that's your fault though. Still, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
you
That's
you know,
the problem. It's all that's why I think a lot of people don't do this because it's all on them, whoever
yeah,
does. So if shit fucks up, that's your problem. That's a you
definitely.
problem. You
Yeah.
can't unless somebody sabotages your shit, which could happen.
So what's the most shows you've done on a tour, like carting everything around?
I don't know, 40, 50, no, 50
Jesus.
or more. I don't know.
Damn.
I mean, they weren't all in a row, you know. It's like you get
Okay.
days off and shit. But,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way you got to do it when you're from the West Coast. Because, like, where are you going to go? Like, you go to LA, great. I mean, LA is horrible. I can't. I mean, it's okay, but it's just so it's never fun to go to LA.
Where do you get the best reaction? Like, what's your best?
I don't know. People have asked that before, and I have no idea because I don't see. I don't know. I don't see the people like that. You know, like every show is like its own experience, and so some nights will have it, and other nights won't. And it could be in a small club, it could be 50 people, and then in a big club or bigger club, it could be 200, 300 people, and I have no concept of that. And so it's I don't know. I know that people seem to like it lately a lot more than they used to. I don't know if they've kind of like doom apocalypse robot grind is kind of the timely. It seems like it is. I mean, I'm positioned pretty well here.
Anthony was like, he'd be like, doom apocalypse robot grind, man. He'd be like, that is so cool.
Well, I'm so bad at branding and all the music business that I could probably like do all this shit, but like, brand it and get it all out there, but I just don't care about any of that shit. It's just,
are you involved with any merchandise and stuff? Do you have merchandise for people to buy and stuff like that?
No. Nah.
Of course you don't.
Sometimes we have stuff on tour and it's one-offs and custom and people can support, but I hate going to the post office. Fuck the post office. I mean, it could be okay. It's just it's a me thing. I don't like going to the post office. I don't like packing up stuff and wrapping and taping and writing and then going and it's
no, it sucks. It definitely is terrible. Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that people want my stuff sometimes, but I'm just like, I just can't get myself to do it. I'm a really bad business person and capitalist. Like I am the worst. And it's because I don't really care about any of it. Because it's just, it kills me. I mean, the problems I've seen come over the world because of greed and because of chasing money and all that stuff. It kills me. Like our society today, it's like, I would say like a good 90% is because of the situation we're in with capitalism. That's just me, It's like, and so I have to be a part of it, but I try not to be a part of it at every opportunity.
Definitely. I mean, another idea for like selling merch at shows would be like failed mechanical parts. Just
yeah. I've like people get, occasionally there'll be like a broken drumbot stick in there.
Yeah.
Sold at a premium because it's a premium item.
I want one, dude.
I think one of the funniest things I ever saw at a merch booth was I saw my friend was like, "Hey man, I got tickets for Yngwie Malmsteen. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll go see him." Like, I used to watch him when I was a kid. And
was he selling inflated egos?
Oh my god! So pretty much a physical version. So he was selling his used Ferrari steering wheels.
Dude, you can't make that shit up, dude. That's fucking.
You know what? The people who bought those are gonna have the last laugh once Yngwie kicks the bucket. And they're on eBay. Oh my god!
They were still like insanely expensive though. They had to have been over like $800 or something, like $1,000. And I was like, or like pedals that he'd use, like just a normal note, like a Boss noise gate was like $500 because it's just used by Yngwie for a while.
I don't like fast. I don't like too fast guitar playing. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't really respect it. I mean, not that I mean, I'm glad you can play fast, but I don't know. Once it goes past like I got nothing. And so like the whole contingent of people who just jack off to that shit, like Buckethead and stuff. I mean, he's cool, but like it's just not my thing. I never could get behind it. But a lot of people just pray to that altar, and good for them. I'm just happy for them.
Have you thought about making like a addition to the guitar player that could like do a solo, like do like a crazy like on the higher register?
Guitar Buck can do crazy solos. It's just
okay.
Not since I can't stand the sound of sweep picking and all the noodling. Like it's like a lot of the modern like gent shit and Polyphia style shit. It's just I want to die. I fucking hate it. I can't. I don't know. It's all just noodling, man. It's
so it's
noodling, and I get what they're doing. I can understand why some people might like it, but it just goes right over my head. Maybe I'm just a stupid idiot who can't comprehend fast music. Probably, I only could. If I could only love the shredding. I mean, because like,
bro.
Doesn't almost all shredding just sound the same to you? Because it does to me. It all just sounds like.
It depends. I mean, it depends. Like what you're saying, there is sometimes where the speed's just like, all right, that's just like, I can kind of tell what scale you're working on a little bit, but it's kind of just like, it's like a kind of like a. That's what like what's his name? The best was Trevor Sternad, R.I.P. He was telling me when he heard Ranger for the first time, it's just all, dude, it sounds like a machine gun shooting a turkey. Like going and I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I definitely see that in there. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's one of those, you start playing guitar.
Thing. That's great.
It's a taste thing. It's like you start and you're like, it's kind of like, okay, what's crazier? What's crazier? What's crazier? What's crazy? Until it gets to like inaudible like shredding that's like impossible to play. But like you can find people that play it and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? That's insane. But I wouldn't like necessarily like strive to be like the fastest at that kind of stuff,
A lot of people who are just, that's their life,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
When you're going on those speed trials, that's a lifer thing. We've mostly focused on drum speed in band because that's where we shine. Guitar Buck probably could play ridiculously fast if I did a couple things to make him play faster, but but the biggest thing is drum bot because she just plays insanely fast. Like no human can compete.
Imagine the technical issues if you made the guitar super fast though. Like how many? There probably seems like there.
No,
you don't think so?
So part of the thing. So check it out. So like, there's an easy way to make guitar robots fast. Okay, but I decided to not do this because I don't like it. I can't really stand it. And most guitar robots I've seen, not all, but most do this. Basically, you make a it's like a matrix that goes over the strings, right? With air cylinders or solenoids facing straight down to be able to basically, play one note, one string, one fret. You know what I mean? So then you have basically let's say it's a four or five air cylinder bank per string, or like, grouping per string. So that's like 30, 35, whatever, 36 air cylinders that you would have there. And so each one could play the notes. And so if you do that, you can just go ridiculously fast. Like those Zima robots do that shit,
Okay.
And some other robots too, but the Zima robots, like that Zima drink.
Yeah.
They have a robot band. I mean, you probably don't know this, but they have a robot band. It's called Z Machines. And so pretty cool stuff, but man, like
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, Z Machines. It's ridiculous. I know every robot band in the world. Like, it's ridiculous. It's
okay. It's like it's a one person thing or one robot, right?
Zima?
No.
Z Machines?
No.
It's like a whole fucking band. It's like they got a guitar player with a screen for his face, and it's like this crazy ass drummer thing. And yeah, they got all sorts of shit.
Damn, they're trying to fucking steal that. I'm trying to like pull it up right now to show everyone because this is fucking insane looking. Let's see, share screen. Let's do all this. Z Machine. Okay.
And it's like they made it so that they could be like more popular in Japan, like with like the drink.
Look at this thing.
Okay, yeah.
Look how it looks all like it's pretty much it's like more technical or like not garbage, right? They're trying to use like really fancy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what a lot of robots. That's what Compressor Head did. They use all sorts of new, amazing parts and shit, and so they're very formidable looking.
Jeez, this right here
Sometimes
is
playing,
crazy.
but pretty formidable. Um, but I think that's where where I've gotten with robots in the past. I mean, we've been doing this now 20 some odd years now.
Damn.
So like 25, maybe we're almost up to. I think 25 in 2023. So, but what I've learned is that it doesn't matter what the fuck robots you make. Like, it doesn't matter what they look like as long as they could do the job. Like that other stuff doesn't matter, because when you program it, and then it's all a matter of how you program it to either make it sound human or what you do with it. Like what you say with it. Like for me, that's the most important thing. So, like the grindcore that we're doing with Captured by Robots, no other robot band could do that, because it's like it wouldn't be me, it wouldn't be them. They have their eccentricities of things that I mean, maybe someone could make it, but nobody's going to do it.
Yeah.
They're stupid enough to be doing this shit. So those corporate owned robots, they're not going to go start a grind band. I wish.
I think grind's the perfect kind of genre for a robot band to be, because
those blast beats. Shit,
yeah, and it's also like the guitars can just be like going crazy, because you can always tell. Like I've now that I'm thinking, I have seen like robotic guitar players, and you could just kind of like, it just sounds like a fucking MIDI kind of, it's all like, it's so perfect that it sounds like a MIDI playing, but if you have it just loud and just like a hardcore influence, grindcore influence, then it makes more sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
See, this is the problem with robot bands. And I learned this a long time ago, but it's this is why I carry like big old amps with me around, because if you run a guitar through a little amp quiet, or like a guitar robot, you're not going to you're going to sound just like every other douchebag who plays on like a little quiet guitar, with shitty tones. Like, you got to have like the volume and overtones of saturation and like loud amps. It brings a danger feeling to the whole thing. It brings a life to it, which it might or might not have, but I don't know. You can't ignore Guitar Bot when he's fucking going, because it's just go, just right in your fucking face.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know. It's like it's sad, because I wish more people would build robots and have bands with them, because there's a lot of frustrated musicians out there who are not very good socially, who can't keep a drummer or a guitar player or a bass player or whatever. And so just build a fucking robot. You gotta learn a couple things. It's not that hard. Like, just go on. There's an internet out there. There's all sorts of information out there.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of people.
It's never been easier than now to do this. I mean, like, I did this. We've been doing this since '97, so it's like it's not that difficult. But I think a lot of people just don't want to learn new things when it comes to stuff like this. They feel like there's nobody to lead them on the way, and so but
it's the desire to do it too, like the
passion.
You have to have the passion for it, because it is hard to do for someone that doesn't have the passion, or like they want to maybe learn a little bit and figure it out. But like, if someone isn't fully committed to fucking making robots, then I'm sure they're going to be like, "What the? This is insane. This is going to be so hard."
Be super persistent. That's the thing. It's like, if you kind of like do something for a month and everything's not done, then you're not going to keep going with it. I mean, it's like this is the first time I was building these things. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It took me a year to build everything to the point where it was ready to do a show. I mean, a fucking year.
Right.
And
for sure.
But I had decided that seemed like a great idea. And, at the time I was living it's probably, the time too that I was doing, because I didn't have to pay crazy rent back then. I mean, it was what, I grew up with, coming to San Francisco in like 94, 95, like I paid $250 a month for my first room that I rented in a house,
Wow. And that was probably still like insanely expensive compared to the rest of America, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I was like, oh my God, $250, Jesus.
Like the average is like $87 a month, dude.
But unless you're in the most dire of situations, generally, people have some free time, which they could do things, even if you are working a lot, and the convenient thing for me is I have no friends. So it's fantastic. I got all this time to do whatever I want. So that's the way to go, just stay friendless.
Stay friendless. That should be the next album title. But so I know Ian's asked us. Sorry, I missed it the first time. But so you DePaul, you studied jazz only, or what else did you study?
Yeah, I was just studying jazz. Like,
okay.
I mean, I didn't really want to go to college, and like my parents really wanted me to go to college, and my dad was like, "I'll pay for it if you go to college," and I'm like, "Okay." I mean, yeah, sure. And so, I mean, I'm glad I went because I learned a lot of shit like that I probably wouldn't have learned. Like, I learned what I hate, in college, which is great.
that's all you learned.
Well, that's a great thing. You know what? I learned what I don't know, and that's
yeah.
That anybody could ever teach anybody. It's because I never have any. I mean, I have faith in my ideas, but I always realize, like, yeah, you're probably wrong. It's very possible. So
yeah.
But no, I played just jazz. And jazz is a great thing because it expands your mind in great ways. It's like you have to follow. There's maybe that is why I'm kind of a real weird one, because doing jazz, it forces you to think of all sorts of substitutions and ideas that could work or will bend the rules or make the rules work. And so it gives you a really good framework when you really know how to solo over jazz or write jazz or whatever, of structure, but then also the illusion of lack of structure. You know what I mean? Like to go, it's, I don't know, it's something where when you really kind of study it and get good at it, it changes your brain in a lot of ways, because you're not, maybe for the worse, I don't know, but
for the better, I think.
But it helped me think a lot. And that's what I do now. I think all the time. And so it's dangerous for me.
Yeah. It's great.
It's not like not boxed into the normal Western rules. You can go like, what about this? And I can make this still be in the scale, even though it's not in the scale.
Play any note and just change the chord below it to make it make sense. It's I have another robot band that I know is probably a big surprise, right? Iowa's robot band has another robot band, but it's called Teddy Bear Orchestra, and it's this group with 6 teddy bears and myself, and I'm a horrible fascist conductor that hates bears, and I conduct these bears, and it's wonderful. It's like the bears play teddy bear music, and it's danceable and fun, and they're cute, and so yeah, we're going to be touring for the first time this coming fall, 2023, the year of the bear.
That's nice. Awesome. I'm watching. Is it Stephen Colbert? Stephen Colbert?
Well, we did a song called Stephen Colbert.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That was actually there's 2 versions of the band. One was when I first made Teddy's to be to be an opening band for Captured by Robots, because at one point in my career, it was they kept putting shitty opening bands with us. Oh my God, it was fucking making me crazy. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make a robot opening band because I'm tired of shit. So fuck your local bands. We're just gonna do this, But yeah, so it was great. It was a hard tour because I was doing 2 bands every night, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done. But then during COVID, or a little bit before COVID, I decided I wanted to reform the Teddies, but with a full band now. And then I would conduct and add the horns that used to be in Captured by Robots. And Guitar Bot is actually one of the Teddies in there as well. And so basically it's a 6-piece band, which I can really write tonally for. And so I can really do a lot of those, like we're talking about, to bring it back to the substitutions and rules and all the theory that I know. Like I'm actually going to pump it into this band to kind of, be something special and something really tonal, and I can really express my flair.
So cool.
I'm very excited about that then. So that's once I get off this winter break, that's what I'm going to start doing, is working on Teddy stuff, and people can check it out at that Teddy Bear Orchestra anywhere, Yeah. Right. That's what we were playing. Those are apes behind them, by the way. They're not bears. They were in the original Captured by Robots.
That's so good, man.
Look up a different Teddy Bear Orchestra.
It's a different one? Is this a different one?
No, that's the first version where I wasn't in the band. And the other
you weren't in the band. Okay. I just like the beginning of it, though. Just the... That's sick.
Yeah, he's got more cymbals now. And
I like that his like hands kind of there too. It looks like
look up Teddy Bear Orchestra. It was our Christmas song. It's
I gotta pull it up.
Not Silent Night. We did it. What was it? Drummer Boy. Was it Drummer Boy?
Drummer Boy?
Ba, ba, ba. You know, it's that one that goes pa pa pa. Da, pa, 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 pa. Come on, you know. Pa, 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 pa,
Oh,
pa.
is it the at the Fixin'? Is that?
No, but that was a live show.
It
looks actually like kind of well recorded.
It's not Drummer Boy, the song Drummer Boy.
Yeah, that was a while back, but
oh, this is fucking sick. Oh, the conductor. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. This is fucking hilarious. This is rad.
okay, it's no. Do you hear what I hear?
Okay.
Look up that, because that's the new band in its entirety, and started from like halfway through or something, because that's when it gets, or maybe somewhere around there, because that's when it starts getting, you know, exciting.
All right, I'll get it going. So let's hear.
Yeah,
it
really.
here.
You know, it's fucked up because I love doing Teddy's. It's not as energetic and as it doesn't destroy me as much as Captured by Robots, but it is fun. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Is this it?
Yeah.
No way.
Okay.
No way. Hey, hold on.
Let's go.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, we got someone on the thing.
Anthony. I was like, Anthony's here. What's up,
Am
dude?
I
Where
coming
you
in
at?
all right? I'm
Where are you at? Are you in like?
No way! Finally.
What's up, everybody?
Are you at Disneyland?
Yep, I'm walking out of California Adventure right now. We're about to go to Disneyland proper.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna walk across over there. Yeah, what's up with you guys?
Just hanging out, watching some teddy bear fucking medals, but fucking is sick.
Not metal. Metal.
Oh, not metal. I apologize.
What's going on, J-Bot? Nice to meet you, bro.
He didn't show up on time. That's really not very professional. Dude. I just want to share that. Like, I think that's
Anthony is only an hour and 12 minutes late.
I'm how can I be professional when I'm on vacation, dude?
I know. I forgot. Actually, you mentioned this like months ago, right? That you're going to be like on vacation or something. All right. Well, we fucked up then.
No, it's all good.
hey, what's up, Trevor?
There's still you got still two of us hanging out with you tonight, so I can be there for the whole thing.
It's
all all good, man.
Just forgot you now.
Am I still sharing? No, I'm not sharing anymore. There it is.
No. Oh yeah. Professor.
We're about to show a video
of. Show a video of what?
Of his other band, Teddy Bear Orchestra. We were just about to do it, and you jumped right in.
Funny is,
son of a bitch.
I just answered the question of mine because I went on your socials, J-Bot, and I saw you were only following one page. And
yes,
Teddy Bear Orchestra.
Teddy Bear Orchestra. Yeah, the robots don't follow any humans. Way.
Watch out. Okay. No, dude, play it. Let's hear it.
All right, I'm gonna mute you because it's super loud in your mic right now. He hates being muted. That's the best part. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Can you guys hear it?
That's butterscotch, cocoa. It's supposed to be very Christmassy. So
yeah.
It usually rocks a lot harder than this, but that's the idea.
Yeah. So
you can stop it. That's enough of you bears.
So the horns, the horn section, is that actually being pushed through as horns, or is that just
diesel truck horns?
Oh shit, that's crazy, man. That's insane.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm working on a new horn thing, which we'll see how that works out, but it's not ready yet. But I'm going to be messing with that real soon. You know, trying to make a better horn section, basically.
Definitely.
I have to go. It'd be really awesome to find out how to make the audio sound better when we share videos.
Well, it sounded good on my end. I think it sounded okay, Anthony. I think it's just like from your end, bud.
Yeah.
That's all I mean. Like,
yeah, dude, I still made it.
But dude, yeah, it's cool.
Sorry, I didn't start from the beginning. We were actually we were in line for a ride when you guys started. I was like, shit, dude. Nice. But I'm really only going to be able to be in here for a little bit because we're about to go hit some more rides. Just wanted to come in, say what's up. See, I was thinking about
my boy.
You know, the capture.
He got pissed off.
That's cute.
Sorry for giving people motion sickness. We're walking, but
go ahead, Anthony. What were you
dude. No, I was thinking about the Captured by Robots project, and then you know, all like the animatronic robots on all the rides here.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I thought you'd probably actually get a kick out of like all the technology that they use to get the rides going here and stuff. I was trying to put it all together like that.
I've seen a lot of that stuff. It's cool. They use at least I think they use low pressure hydraulics to move all the creatures, because then it's silent. The fluid moves everything, rather than like my shit is air, so you get a lot of air exhausting things. You know, not that I've ever been there, right. Like in the behind the scenes, but you know, it's, I'd take
so like without the music, you hear a lot of clicking and clacking from your robots.
Oh sure, of course, yeah. Oh yeah, Link could just make noise, you know, unless you can, you know, really dampen them a lot, you know.
Is it audible in like the live setting, or is it still just metal?
No, well, barely.
Loud,
barely.
You know?
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
Everybody on the videos, they're like, all I hear is the mechanism. It's like, I don't care. Like, fuck you. Like, do a show. It's not going to sound. You know, it's like going through a big PA. I mean, people don't hear the air compressor. So I mean, it's loud. You know.
Yeah.
Totally.
The way it should be done.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm just lost the people that I was with.
Jingle bells.
I just stopped and started talking. I know, dude. I'm like, if we were actually a monetized show, we would probably get dinged immediately from me walking around. All the Christmas music still going on here.
Well, you know, you're not. So.
Yeah, it's all good. Oh man, I'll be right back, guys. 1 second.
All right, it's all good. Nice. Yeah, dude. Well, looks like everyone's out for a second. Oh, am I muted? No, not. Oh, here's Joel back. What's up, dude? Anthony's at Disneyland, apparently. A little, you know, getting crazy. Talking about animatronics and shit. Like Anthony just had to mute. It was perfect timing. We were just switching from Anthony to you.
Hey, it's frozen. Anyways, that was a random. Speaking of, like, I mean, it's funny because you think about the whole animatronic thing. When I was a kid, I remember going through It's a Small World at Disneyland, and they had like the robots like singing along, and they had this one that was like super dilapidated, and it was just going like, it's a small world, like one eye's out, like it's like flittering, and it's going like you hear like the mouth just like chomping like louder than the music. I know. That sticks in my head as one of my favorite memories of being there as a kid, was fucking seeing the small world like fuck ups that they had going on. But yeah, no, that's definitely
well, there's an uncanny valley with all that shit, you know, like when you see something supposed to be functioning and looking mostly normal, and then something fails, and that's exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
I was able to hear you, and that's totally true, dude. But with like the newer rides that they've done, they're getting it pretty close to almost lifelike movements, you know.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, like on the older rides, you're talking about It's a Small World.
But things will. But things will fail.
Like,
over time.
Pirates of the Caribbean, they make them kind of look fake on purpose, because it gets weird when you make something look too real. It kind of creeps us out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets the kids crying. They're like, what the fuck is that?
That's funny.
Yeah, dude. I'm just covering up the camera with my fingers.
So Anthony, what are you gonna say next, dude? What's the next thing?
Well, what do you mean? I didn't have anything.
So you're just like leading the next thing, dude. Like
I know,
we have someone walking through fucking Disneyland just on the podcast right now.
Not even knowing how to angle my shit properly. I'm trying to be a vlogger right now. All these YouTube bloggers walking around with cameras in their faces while they're talking. I'm trying to be that guy. Trying not to knee a toddler in the jaw while I'm walking by.
I would want to see. That'd be a funny vlog. Would be J-Bot walking through Disneyland, seeing how he would deal with all the humans. I think he'd be.
No. I've done it. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I can't stand being around too many people. Shows are hard sometimes.
Yeah. What's the biggest show you've gone to? Like an arena event, like Cow Palace or something out there? Or...
I mean, back in the day, I think I did, but I probably wouldn't go to one of those again. I mean, unless it was like a special occasion, like I'm not that freaked out around crowds. It's just like when it's I don't know, like sometimes some places I get real freaked out about, but generally, actually I'm okay usually. It's like it just depends upon the situation, Usually it's at shows is when like if there's too many people there, I'm just like I just spot like it smells like breath in the club, and I'm like, ugh. Like just like you ever been to a place and the whole place just smells like breath?
Yeah, definitely.
Every loaded metal show I've ever been to, dude.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the sacrifice you make to go to a sick show or whatever. But like being in a crowd of moving people, it really doesn't bother me as long as like people are being courteous and like, but dudes like shoulder checking and trying to get through and line cutters and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that'll get me irritated for sure.
Definitely.
But being around just people in general, it don't really.
Especially at Disneyland, dude.
Yeah, this is like the place.
This line cutters.
Everything you want to do has a line, dude. So it's like you got to just get used to it. But there are still a few people who are still trying to get ahead. It's like, nah, dude, back up.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. I mean, a lot of those theme parks and stuff. I mean, I haven't been in so long, but yeah, there's those people that they just don't care. They're like, I want to be first, and I don't care. I don't care about anything behind me or what's going on. I'm just gonna do as much as I can get away with to be like first in line. Like I can wait. Like in traffic, I'm like, you go ahead, man. If you want to be a crazy driver, go. Like I'm gonna get away from you, as fast as I can. But if you want to get 15 seconds ahead of me and you want to risk all the lives to do it, like that's a different kind of human. That's not me.
I love being on the freeway and you see those people, and then just like 4 or 5 minutes later, you end up passing them in your lane because the lane that they got in slowed down, and then you're just like, all you just did, all that danger that you just could have put people in was just pointless, dude. And I still got past you.
I know. I love passing them when they like try to do a thing and they
so
get
good.
stuck. They get stuck and they can't pass anyone. I just go slow and box them in. I just go, ooh.
Like when they're tired, and like when their tires aren't aligned, right, Anthony?
Oh yeah, totally, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. I was worried. I was like, did Anthony flood out, dude? What's going on, dude? He's like not responding. What's going on?
We got dumped on, but no, my
is it magic?
My my phone was in my bag, so I didn't really pay attention to the clock. I wasn't really planning on necessarily getting on right at the beginning, though. I was just gonna pop in whenever I could,
Definitely.
And here I am.
Definitely. Cool, man. Well, back on the J-Bot train. I don't know, Anthony. It sounds like you're in a crowd. Hold on one sec. Sorry. He's talking right now. Look at it. He thinks he's not muted.
Joel is again the host officially. Yeah.
If we get on a ride, dude, I'm just gonna be popping out though. So, but yeah,
no, that's all good. It's all good. I mean, just popping in is good. It's in. I mean,
cool. Yeah, we're good. We're good, dude.
We were right in the middle of
I'll mute until I want to say something if I'm still on.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. But no, I mean, so the progression of how many albums does Captured have total?
Not too many. Like just a few. Like got since because we've changed a lot, right? Like in the beginning, it was very different than what it is now. So like up until about 2015, it was kind of we played all sorts of different things, you know, like a lot of rock, just kind of middle of the road, like rock shit. And then I fell into doing covers for a while, some weird electronica shit. And then, so I have a couple albums I did from that era, and then I quit the band in 2015, but then decided to restart in like 2016 or 2017, and since then I have 2 albums out. One is which that's when I switched to grindcore basically, and so that one of them, Endless Circle of Bullshit, and the other one is Broken as Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, and so both of them I'm cool with. I mean, they're not my favorite things anymore. I mean, it's everything that I do with robots, I'm getting better every year, and with music too. Like I've always been a really horrible songwriter, and so it was really hard for me in the beginning of this to be able to write songs that I would really enjoy on the robots, just because I didn't really know how, or I didn't know what to do, or some stuff just felt wrong. So, so I hate almost all the music I've ever done. So, but the new stuff I'm writing, you know, I could get with that. Like I'm pretty down with it. So
you like it till you'll hate it again?
I don't think I'm going to hate it.
Okay.
I finally came upon something with kind of taking some of this hardcore, I don't know, some of the sound, it just feels a lot better. It just feels like the experiment that I had before this trip was to write some music that would make people react physically. And that might sound weird, you know, but like from a robot guy, it's like it kind of, you know, you write for certain purposes, you know? And so I feel like I've gotten to that point. And I understand now maybe what that is, you know, in the kind of heavy vein without being too, I don't know, like I don't want to be rap metal, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but I want there to be a good pulse and maybe disturbing pulse. And I've never really written with a pulse before, really trying to get a head bobbing thing, you know, but now that's really all I care about. So that's going to be the next things I write. So
going more into the groove is what you're saying?
Kind of more just like, you know, like that heavy fucking like go, 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 like just, I don't know what it is about it, but it moves me in some kind of way, which I'm very excited to play more of. So, yeah, I've never liked what I do as far as music goes, but hopefully this will be the first time where I can actually listen to an album and be like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been able to do that yet.
Is you writing? Are you more excited? You're just more excited to go out and play it live, probably, right? Than listening to an album, or how does that work?
I want for the first time in my life to write something that I don't hate the day after I do it. You know, like I want to write something that I feel like people would really enjoy listening to, and I would enjoy listening to. Something that transcends just the idea of robots. You know, something that it's its own thing and it moves me physically and makes me, you know, like feel that kind of like metal hardcore power. You know, like when you hear it and there's a pulse behind it that works for you. You know, you just you feel like a fucking 1,000 atomic bombs going off in your brain. I don't know. Like that's what I feel like. It feels like something is just like you're getting pushed forward into something, into the void. You know,
definitely.
Like I love that, and so that's what I'm going to try to create from now on, and that's going to sell because people want that. You know,
and
that's cool. I just, you know, I never really had it before, so this tour was the first time I actually got to watch the people from the beginning just start going ham at the shows. It's beautiful. Just
that's awesome.
It's been great. And so the response has been great and I've been loving it. And so, yeah, it's thrilling. So that's
what do you listen to? Like, I mean, with your, you know, you're writing a bunch of music. So what do you like? What did you throw on today? Like what kind of styles of music do you generally, is it kind of a mishmash of all kinds of different things or what is it?
No, actually it's kind of funny. See, I'm real cheap. So I don't buy like Spotify and shit because I can't stand advertisements. Even though, I mean, what I listen to, it sounds horrible, but I just put on fucking YouTube and I start with In Disgust, this great album that I like from them, We Should All Die, which is so good. And then YouTube just keeps throwing fucking bands at me. And I've learned so many bands that I really like through that. It's like algorithms, man. Algorithms. It just, like, that's where I learned about Harm Done and what else? brain shit. Oh yeah. Oh God, what's the one? There's one about a throat, like throat something, like I don't know. Horrible fucking music, and I love it. It's everything that I want in this shit, you know? It's just beautiful to listen to. So, and I just listen to that same thing every time I listen to music. And it just sends me on different songs, or sometimes I like all the songs. So I don't really I'm not a musical file, you know, like I don't go and like, oh, I'm gonna listen to some jazz today. It's like, no, I'm never gonna listen to jazz again. I can't stand it. I have a degree in it, but I can't fucking stand it. It's so annoying. It's so fucking annoying. I really fucked up with that decision. Along with playing slap bass, it's the same thing. Like I can't stand hearing slap bass right now. It's like fuck your slap bass. Fuck that fucking thing. It's awful. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And I can say that because I was real good at it, and I just can't stand it anymore. It just kills me.
Okay, that's interesting. So you built a relationship with a style or a style of music or a style, a technique of bass, and you're like, oh, now that I know it fully and I hear other people do it, I don't like the way they do it, so I don't want to hear it anymore.
I think that's why I hate everything, because once I experience it, I'm like, yeah, done it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I was just listening. You said you studied it and all this. Well, I think like maybe certain things in an academic perspective, you don't really fall in love with. Like if you were to take a certain art class and there was a certain art style that you were learning, and you learned it in order to get through the class, but really it wasn't your style, so you end up just not fucking with it after you're done with the class, you know?
Oh yeah, but that was like what I went to school for. Like I was thinking I was going to be a jazz musician. I was doing it all the time. I got pretty good at it, but the passion wasn't there. The audience participation wasn't there. The just the going off, you know, like because I was in bands during this whole time with jazz, and the punk shows were way more fun. You know, I mean, jazz shows fucking can really be a drag.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I studied jazz at SFSU, San Francisco State.
Nice.
So I know about it, dude. For sure. Oh, I think Joel lost power. Oh no, shit. He just texted me. Yeah, he just lost power because of the storm.
So it is going crazy down there, huh?
Yeah.
What's so funny?
Up there.
It's pretty good up here tonight.
Yeah, it's been on and off with the rains. It's coming down pretty hard on us since we've been here, but it's also been not accurate going by the weather that they've been saying on the news. Every day that it says one thing, it's been the other. So
yeah,
been prepared for it all.
Well, I'm glad you guys are still here. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm sorry if it's loud.
It's okay. So what's up in the future? What's going on moving ahead with J-Bot with your stuff?
Future?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, the plan is 2023 tour in the fall with Teddy Bear Orchestra, and
sick. Okay,
get out there and do that. Yeah, I want to write stuff that's going to make people cry with that. Like that's the goal. Like I want people to cry, and then after the crying part, like I think it's going to be kind of poppy, you know, in some ways, but we'll see. I don't know, but that's the plan. It's tour in the fall with Teddy Bears, and unless we get like a opening slot for a bigger band with Captured by Robots, you know, like in the spring or something. But the thought right now is that's as far as I'm going, because we, you know, in the world today, don't plan more than a year, you know.
Yeah.
Don't plan more than 6 months, because but you know, to tour, you have to plan. It's basically minimum of 6 months starting, you know, before your tour to book it these days. It's ridiculous, but that's how it is. So, but you know, whatever. And we have to compete with all the other bands, so just got to do it right, you know.
Yeah. It'd be cool if it was like Cannibal Corpse and Captured by Robots on the tour.
I'd do it. They just have to ask, you know. That's awesome. It's funny, you know, we haven't gotten that many opportunities to play with bigger bands. Like we get some, but I think either the bands don't care for us, you know, because we're too weird, or because maybe it's not, you know, just like other bands, or they don't like us.
Right.
But sometimes I think they think that we take up a lot of time to get off stage, which really isn't true. You know, it's like the robots get off real fast. But
oh shit!
I mean, it's because that's the whole point. You know, it's you got to get them up. You know, wires collected, rolled off. You know, but but we are more of a pain in the ass than a normal band. There's things I got to check, which no other bands have to check. So, but no, one day we're going to get so good. I mean, we're coming upon the point soon where we're going to get so good where we can't really be ignored and people would enjoy us opening for them. But I don't really like opening anyway. Like I prefer headlining. It's just so much easier.
Yeah.
You know, you set up and then at the end you got time to break down. I can't stand getting my shit off stage like before a headliner. Like I'll do it, but I don't love it. You know, it's like it's a lot of work for, usually not great money and the club doesn't treat you very well.
For sure. For sure, man. Yeah, it's so cool. Well, we got to get you guys down back here again. I'm in SoCal, like I said, and Anthony's in I guess NorCal. I guess you can consider that still. But yeah, man. I want to come see you guys live. I need to do it.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know. We don't have any shows set up right now, so it'll be don't know. Maybe this summer, maybe this next coming winter. I don't know, but
sure. Yeah.
Really hoping that I don't fuck up doing this teddy bear thing. Like it's something that I've wanted for a long time, but I've been blocked every time I wanted to tour with it, from problems that happened a while back. And then last time we were supposed to do it was spring of 2020. We were supposed to tour. And, spring of 2020 worked out real well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What are you talking about? It's yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, totally.
Wonderful year. Oof.
Yeah, totally. Anthony, what do you got to say, buddy?
Dude, I'm trying to get to a spot where it's a little quieter. It actually is over here. The kids are snacking on some pineapple Dole Whips right now, so we're just chilling while they
nice
get a little dessert. And yeah, dude, today's been nice. I know it's off subject because I'm just talking about the weather again, but it's been cool because today was supposed to be the gnarliest rain of the trip, and today it barely even rained. So I'm happy that we're like this today. Don't have to deal with wearing a poncho all day. Oh, dude, I have a confession to make to all of our listeners and to the hosts as well. So I recently purchased a pair of shoes, dude, and I actually like them. I can't believe I'm saying it, dude. Can't believe I'm saying that I like a pair of shoes, dude. Because I wore sandals this whole winter, guys. I really did.
Okay.
I said, fuck it, dude. I'm keeping them on, dude. I'm not taking them. I'm not gonna cover my feet this winter. But with the rain, I had to get something, dude. And there are these Vans that are waterproof, and it's so legit.
All right.
My feet have been dry this whole time, and I'm so happy.
Mm-hmm. We're super happy for you. That's awesome, man. Right on. Well,
thanks, dude. Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking you guys would get mad at me for going against my my normal situation.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well,
yeah, dude.
I think
I'm probably gonna end this.
Yeah, well, Joel got disconnected. I think the weather hit Joel. I think the storm.
Yeah, the weather sucks.
He lost his internet, and so we're just trying to hang on to this tonight. Anthony, anything else you want to say? You want to wrap this up, Anthony, on this whole thing?
Dude, if we're wrapping them up, I just love you guys. I wish I could have been on it the whole time, but we're on vacation. We're having a good time though. I'll be back next week for a very, very awesome special episode. And you guys will see very soon who that will be. And
sounds good.
Go Captured by Robots. Go support Captured by Robots. Go check Teddy Bear Orchestra. All that shit. Battle Forge Coffee. Odious Mortem, Severed Savior. What up? All that shit.
Anything else?
Yeah, dude.
You guys want to add to this?
Dude, it's all good. I love you guys. And
we'll sign off.
You guys have a good rest of your nights, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Right on.
Sounds good. All right.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Thanks.